In every corner of Vietnam, from the bustling street markets of Hanoi to the tranquil countryside of the Mekong Delta, food is more than sustenance. It's a way of life. It's a bloody connection to culture, an expression of history, and you can taste it in every single bite. We're about to dive headfirst into a world of vibrant flavors, fresh ingredients, and dishes that have been perfected over generations. This isn't just about eating, it's about understanding the soul of Vietnam, the heart and soul. Prepare to embark on a culinary journey where each bite tells a story of resilience, creativity, and centuries of tradition. We're talking fragrant herbs, fiery chilies, and a delicate balance of sweet, sour, salty, and spicy. You lot better be ready. Right, let's get down to business with a dish that's as iconic as it is delicious. Pho. This ain't your average bowl of noodle soup. This is a symphony of flavor, a culinary masterpiece that's been warming hearts and stomachs for generations. We start with a rich aromatic broth simmered for hours with beef bones, charred onions, ginger, cloves, and star anise. You can smell the history in every steaming bowl. Then comes the silky rice noodles, cooked just right so they've got that perfect bite. None of that soggy, overcooked rubbish. And then, the star of the show, thinly sliced beef, usually rare, that cooks gently in the hot broth. You can have it with chicken, you can have it with tofu, but the classic beef pho, that's the one that'll knock your socks off. But it's not just about the broth and the noodles and the meat. Oh no, pho's got layers. A proper pho comes with a plate of fresh herbs. Thai basil, cilantro, mint. You've got your bean sprouts, your lime wedges, your chilies. You customize it, you make it your own, you understand? One bite. And you'll see why pho is considered the national dish of Vietnam. It's the perfect balance of savory and refreshing, hearty and delicate. It's a bloody revelation, that's what it is. You can find pho on every street corner in Vietnam, from humble street stalls to fancy restaurants. And let me tell you, some of the best pho I've ever had was from a little old lady with a cart and a charcoal burner. Don't judge a book by its cover, right? The beauty of pho is in its simplicity. It's a dish that's made with love and care, using fresh, high-quality ingredients. And that's what makes it so damn delicious. So, if you're ever in Vietnam, do yourself a favor and have a bowl of pho. Or 2, or 3. You won't regret it. Trust me on that one. Now let's talk about banh mi, Vietnam's answer to the sandwich. But don't think for a minute that this is just some boring ham and cheese. Banh mi is an explosion of flavors and textures, a fusion of French and Vietnamese cuisine that'll leave you craving more. We start with a crusty baguette, the legacy of the French colonial era. But that's where the similarities end. This bread is lighter, airier, just begging to be filled with Vietnamese goodness. And the fillings? Don't even get me started. We're talking savory meats, pickled vegetables, fresh herbs, spicy chili sauce. You can have it with grilled pork, lemongrass chicken, or even tofu. The key to a good banh mi is the balance of flavors. You've got the richness of the meat, the tanginess of the pickled daikon and carrots, the freshness of the cilantro and cucumber, and the heat of the chili sauce. It's a party in your mouth and everyone's invited. One bite, and you'll understand why banh mi has become a global sensation. It's portable, it's affordable, and it's bloody delicious. What more could you ask for? You'll find banh mi vendors all over Vietnam, from bustling city streets to quiet countryside roads. Each vendor has their own special twist, their own secret ingredient that makes their banh mi stand out from the crowd. So, next time you're feeling peckish, skip the boring old sandwich and grab yourself a banh mi. Your taste buds will thank you for it. Chapter 3. Goi quan, a refreshing summer roll. Alright, let's cool down for a minute with something light and refreshing. Goi quan, or Vietnamese fresh spring rolls. These little beauties are the perfect antidote to the tropical heat, and they're packed with flavor. We're talking about delicate rice paper wrappers, translucent see-through, filled with a symphony of fresh ingredients. You've got your vermicelli noodles for that satisfying chew, your crisp lettuce and crunchy vegetables, and your choice of protein. Now you can go for the classic prawn goi quan, plump and juicy, or maybe some tender chicken or tofu. But the real star of the show? The dipping sauce. We're not talking about your average ketchup here. This is a flavor bomb of nuoc cham, a blend of fish sauce, lime juice, sugar, garlic, and chilies. It's sweet, it's sour, it's spicy. It's the perfect balance to cut through the freshness of the rolls. You dip that goi quan, you get a little bit of everything in one bite, and you'll understand why this is a Vietnamese staple. It's light, it's refreshing, it's healthy, it's bloody delicious. You'll find goi quan on menus all over Vietnam, from street food stalls to fancy restaurants. It's the perfect appetizer, a light lunch, or even a snack. So next time you're feeling hot and bothered, reach for a plate of goi quan. It's the perfect way to cool down and satisfy your taste buds at the same time. Chapter 4, Bun Bo Hue, a fiery bowl from the heart of Vietnam. Now if you like a bit of spice in your life, then listen up. Bun Bo Hue, a fiery beef noodle soup from central Vietnam, is here to blow your socks off. This ain't your grandma's chicken soup. This is a full-on flavor explosion that'll leave you sweating and grinning like a fool. We start with a broth that's simmered for hours with beef bones, lemongrass, and a whole whack of chilies. And I'm not talking about a gentle warmth here. This broth has got a kick that'll wake you up faster than a double espresso. Then comes the thick, round rice noodles, perfect for soaking up all that spicy goodness. And the meat? We're talking tender slices of beef shank, and if you're feeling adventurous, some congealed pig's blood for that extra iron kick. But it's not all fire and brimstone. Bun Bo Hue is all about balance. You get a bit of sweetness from the rock sugar, a touch of acidity from the lime juice, and a whole lot of freshness from the herbs and vegetables. One spoonful, and you'll understand why Bun Bo Hue is not for the faint of heart. It's a challenge, a test of your spice tolerance. But it's also a bloody delicious one. You'll find Bun Bo Hue in specialized shops all over Vietnam, often with queues snaking down the street. It's the kind of dish that inspires devotion, a fiery passion in the hearts of those who love it. So if you think you can handle the heat, step up and face the Bun Bo Hue challenge. You might just surprise yourself. Chapter 5, Cam Tam, a humble dish fit for royalty. Finally, let's talk about Cam Tam, a dish that's as humble as it is delicious. This is everyday Vietnamese food, the kind of thing you'll find on tables all over the country. But don't let its simplicity fool you. Cam Tam is a masterclass in flavor and texture, a dish that's fit for royalty. We start with broken rice grains, the ones that are considered imperfect for other dishes. But in Cam Tam, they're the star of the show. These little grains have a unique texture, a slight chewiness that's absolutely addictive. Then comes the grilled pork, marinated in a blend of fish sauce, sugar, and lemongrass, and cooked over charcoal until it's caramelized and crispy. You get that smoky aroma, that sweet and savory flavor. It's enough to make your mouth water. But Cam Tam is all about balance. You've got the richness of the pork, the freshness of the sliced cucumbers and tomatoes, the tangy pickled daikon and carrots, and the creamy richness of a fried egg, often cooked sunny side up with a runny yolk. Mix it all up, get a bit of everything in each bite, and you'll understand why Cam Tam is a national treasure. It's simple, it's satisfying, it's bloody delicious. You can find Cam Tam everywhere in Vietnam, from street food stalls to fancy restaurants. It's the kind of dish that transcends social class, a unifying force that brings people together over a shared love of good food. So, next time you're in Vietnam, make sure you seek out a plate of Cam Tam. It's a true taste of Vietnam, a dish that'll stay with you long after you finish the last grain of rice. Vietnamese cuisine isn't just food, it's an experience, an adventure, and a celebration. It's about fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and a passion for cooking that's been passed down through generations. So, what are you waiting for? Whether you book a flight to Vietnam or visit a local Vietnamese restaurant, let your senses guide you on a journey you'll never forget. Get ready for an explosion of flavors, textures, and aromas that'll leave you craving more. As the Vietnamese say, chúc ngon miệng. Here's to delicious moments ahead. Now go on, get out there and eat.